Could this be the play for the Players' Cup? It's ADP Zacian. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to be taking a look at a list that I consider one of the better choices for the Players' Cup, and that is ADP Zacian. I think this deck has what it takes to go all the way, and so I thought it would be a decent opportunity to take a look at a list that I might be considering to play in this particular tournament. There's no guarantees that this is going to be the deck that wins. I just think that it has enough going on that it could get across the line. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Only about 30% of people who do watch our content subscribe. We'd love to see you all jump on board as subscribers of the channel. It's free and it only takes a second, and you can always unsubscribe if you like. But without further ado, couldn't quite stumble over that one. Let's move on to take a look at the list. So here we are. ADP Zacian is the key, and Altered Creation is the reason that this deck works. Metal and a Water Energy means we take an extra prize and deal 30 more damage, and how better than to take those knockouts than with Brave Blade off of Zacian V. 230 damage for 3 metal, plus the 30 from Altered Creation means that we're doing 260 damage. That is a massive, massive hit. Now, the list that we're looking at here isn't too insane. There's not a lot going on, really, that you would expect to see different from other ADP Zacian lists, but this is probably the 60 cards that I'm looking at for our Players' Cup run. Now, I want to talk about a couple of inclusions in this deck that I really like that make it really, really strong. Firstly, let's take a look at Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is an excellent card in a format where we're expecting to see a lot of Baby Blacephalon. Baby Blacephalon is a really good deck, and it probably beats this one, to be fair. But with Tapu Fini, we can turn the tide a little bit. Nature Wave can do 100 damage, knock out a knock out a Blacephalon, sorry, with 1 energy, and take 2 prizes as well. That's the most important thing. We can take 2 prizes on their Baby Blacephalons, whilst they're only taking 1 on our Tapu Fini. So that's really, really strong. And in that matchup as well, you can use Jirachi as an attacker. Slap does 60 damage after an ADP's Altered Creation, and 60 plus the 10 from Zigzagoon means that you can potentially knock out other Jirachis with a slap as well. So even though it looks like it might be a really bad matchup on paper, Baby Blounce is potentially winnable thanks to the inclusion of this Tapu Fini. There's a little bit of luck that is required in that matchup, but hey, it's Baby Blacephalon. You gotta have a little bit of luck to win it most of the time. For a lot of other decks, I think this ADP list has plenty of answers. Mallow Lana is a really powerful card, especially against Dragapult right now, and being able to get it back with Mind Report Mewtwo is very, very important. The fact that we can utilize that card multiple times means that we've got a good chance of being able to win that matchup, and Energy Switch obviously means that even if we go second, we can still get that Altered Creation off with the full effect. The worst thing that we can do is just have the 1 energy effect of Altered Creation. It's not as good, as we obviously don't take those extra prizes. But hey, this list I think is pretty solid. We've got a Tool Scrapper down here. We've got a Chaotic Swell as well. Some niche cards that can come up. Tool Scrapper can help you take knockouts on things like Mewtwo and Mew. You can get rid of their Stealthy Hood so that Zigzagoon can go through it. Chaotic Swell, if you can get it down before Pikarom, can put down their Thunder Mountain, then you can probably stop them from attacking on turn 1. There's a lot of good stuff that's going on. I won't go through the list in too much more detail. Suffice to say that this deck is very powerful. And what we'll do is we'll jump into a game. This one was recorded on our Twitch stream. We're at twitch.tv/thesableyes if you're interested in following us there. We try and stream as often as we can. But yeah, we'll see whether this deck is all that it's cracked up to be. Okay, so let's get into a game here. You'll be able to see our followers down below there, the most recent followers when this game was recorded, but all of our other widgets and stuff, I think, are turned off for this one. We'll see how it goes. We've won the coin flip, that's the most important thing, and now we will be into a game, and it looks like we're playing against ADP Zacian here as well. There's the Metal and Dragon deck box there. The key for this particular matchup is making sure that you get your GX attack off before your opponent. Now, we could potentially find ourselves in a position where our opponent is able to GX in front of us, but we've got an energy attachment, we've got an energy spinner, if our opponent can't find the magic combo to get their attachments off, then we will be able to Altered Creation first, and generally, the person that Altered Creation first tends to be the one that wins the game. Now, another thing when you are playing ADPZ, or playing against it, I should say, one thing that you really want to avoid doing is playing down Dedenne. Now, we have a Cherish Ball in hand. We could have really just gunned it with this hand, discarded a ton of stuff, but if we play down a Dedenne and our opponent manages to get their GX attack off this turn, then they'll be able to get a knockout on that Dedenne and take 3 prizes, which is very, very awkward for us. Similarly, if our opponent plays down a Dedenne here, we're going to be really happy, because it means that once we've GX'd, we're going to be able to get that extra prize on the Dedenne. And here comes a Dedenne from our opponent. They couldn't manage to get the heads on the order pad. They flip again, tails again. Those coin flip cards can be very frustrating, especially when you are relying on them for some success. Now, disappointing, the Marnie comes out here and we find ourselves with a pretty awful hand. I mean, we've got a Marnie, which is fine. Our opponent with the order pad manages to flip heads and get that Energy Spinner, which means that they've got the energy in hand now. It's just a matter of whether or not they can get the energy switch, which is the important one here. They've got their ADP into the active, and then just an Intrepid Sword. Okay, so we might have a chance here to get our GX attack off. First, we need to find a Water Energy or an Energy Spinner. So what we're going to do here, we're going to Primate Wisdom possibly? No, we're in a weird spot. We could use Primate Wisdom, we could go for a Dedenne, we could go for Marnie. There's a lot of stuff here. I think now, since we're likely to get our GX attack off first, it is important that we give ourselves the best odds of winning this game. We'll put the Marnie on top. We're going to lose 2 Metal Saucers. That's very unfortunate. Putting the Marnie on top guarantees us a supporter here if we miss, but we don't. We get exactly what we need. We get the Water Energy, and we also can potentially grab ourselves a Zacian here. We could Quick Ball away the Metal Energy, get a Zacian, Metal Saucer to it, and then Marnie our opponent's hand down to 4, and I think that's a really good play. Whether or not we want to try and not waste that energy, but use that energy now when we could potentially save it for an ADP attack next turn, that's another question. But I really like this play. It means that we've given ourselves the best chance to stop our opponent from getting their GX attack whilst giving us the best chance of getting our GX attack off. And we've also managed to find Boss's orders, so that's fantastic. We've GX'd now, we have energy and Boss in hand. That means that unless something crazy happens, like our opponent scoops up the Dedenne or they use Marnie and remove our hand again, we're actually going to be able to take 3 prizes next turn. And this is the strength of this deck, right? When people are struggling, they tend to play Dedenne to extend their hand. And if someone plays the Dedenne down against Altered Creation, then you are going to find that you're going to lose those prizes at some point. So they've kept our hand the same, they've Altered Creation. Now all we have to do is attach and gust, and we've essentially put ourselves in a winning position for this game. Now I'm going to Primate Wisdom here, put the Research back on top. We actually find another Dedenne here, and now that we've got a Dedenne in hand, it doesn't really matter. Probably shouldn't have actually put that Research back on top in hindsight, because the Ultimate Ray will shuffle it around, so maybe should have put the Metal Energy instead. We could Dedenne here, but I think I want to guarantee that we find all these Metal Energy with our Ultimate Ray, so we get those energies onto Zacian. We've got 1 in hand, we've got resources left over, so now we are just looking for one more boss. Even a Mewtwo would do the job, and we can win this game here. And you can see how powerful the deck is. When it works, when it's going in the right direction, it is super, super strong. Now, our opponent is in a similar position. If they want to continue this game, they probably have to knock out our Dedenne, take 3 prizes, and power up a Zacian, and hope that we can't guts. That's pretty much their only hope. And since we have that Dedenne in hand, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'd feel even better if there was a Jirachi on the bench. We haven't actually seen Jirachi this game, but that's an important facet of this particular matchup. You want to have those Jirachis down. Now, it's an interesting promotion. They've got the Zacian here. They could maybe be going for the big knockout on the ADP. A couple of Zigzagoon ticks, and they might be able to get there, but if they do that, then we're just going to be able to knock them out with Zacian V. So I feel like now we've got this game locked up in the bag. They're acro-biking now, looking for another energy so that they can take a knockout on our ADP. Or not even take a knockout, just attack into it. Here comes a Cherish Ball. We've got one Metal Saucer left, so we could probably get a second Zacian powered up if something does go wrong. They don't have another Dedenne, so I think they're probably going to just have to attack here, which means that the game is over. Metal Frying Pan doesn't do the job. Even if it was useful, we have the Tool Scrapper to get rid of it. So it's not that amazing here for our opponent. They're desperately looking for a card off of this Oranguru. It might be Gust, it might be Energy. They've got the Elder Goss. Okay, so they're going for a Marnie here, maybe hoping that they can find something to get this to work, but I still don't see how they possibly get a win here with the attack on the Zacian at the moment. There's the Brave Blade, so victory is assured now. We just retreat and attack with Zacian. We'll take 3 prizes because of Altered Creation. There's the concession. They know what's going to happen. So there you have it, nice and consistent. I mean, if you watched our stream where I recorded this video, then maybe you wouldn't believe me, because we had some shocking runs with ADP Zacian, but hopefully that's just getting the cobwebs out, ready for the Players' Cup this weekend. I think this deck could potentially be the play, so I have kind of got it lined up, ready to go, just in case I do choose to play it in Sunday's Players' Cup. Thank you very much to everyone who watched this video live on twitch.tv/thesableyes, and thanks to you for coming along. We appreciate you coming past, and if you're interested, then you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter up the top there. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we do on Facebook and Twitter. We upload every single video to those platforms so you can see everything as it comes out. You can also subscribe if you want to see things as they arrive. Please do. There's some videos over here you might like, as well as a playlist of more Rebel Clash deck lists. Good luck in your preparation for Players' Cup, and hopefully you do well. We'll see you out there. Thanks very much for coming along, and we'll see you next time. Bye.